Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. So this is the product. And this is the introduction. Pow! So, hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. So, I've got something different for you today. I've got something that's vegan. Let me show you the top. I've already showed you product. Unfortunately, finished. You know how you have those tastes and flavours and that sort of like urge to have sweet, one becomes two, becomes three, becomes four, becomes an empty box. So that's what it was, unfortunately. But what have we got here? It's a vegan, 100% vegan, apparently. Vegan, what else is vegetarian? Obviously, if it's vegan, it's going to be vegetarian as well. Gluten free, no artificial colours, natural flavours. It's by Pimlico. That's the brand name. I can't pronounce it, so you know what? I'm not going to make a fool out of myself. All I'm going to do is review the items. The cost, around the margin of £1, £1.80, around that margin, maybe a little bit less, round it up to a £2. So we could call it, it costs the £2 mark. £2 for sweets, fair enough. The reason I got these, I spotted these. I love these, not these specific ones, but sugary sweets. Excuse me a second. So these are the sweets. I often find myself going for the love these, but I go for the halal versions. So the ones I generally go for do contain ex-living creature, but these vegan free. So if I don't have the opportunity, because they were completely sold out, I'll review those later on. Those were completely sold out. I had to go for these options instead. So what do you get for your almost £2? You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different flavours. There's pineapple, lemon, blackberry, orange, strawberry and apple flavour. So that's the flavours you're going to get for the taste, for your £2. Do they taste anything like them? Well, let's give them a go. So what do I have left? I have apparently I feel this is the only option left. This one is your lemon flavour. This one's going to be your strawberry. That's presume this is going to be a blackberry. And got 2 strawberries. Fantastic. So let's give the one that's going to be least attractive a go, the lemon flavour. It's not subtle. It is subtle. It's not strong flavour as you get with generally these sweets, which do have are either halal or do contain that animal something in them. It doesn't have that burst of flavour. The flavour is quite subtle. It doesn't quite hit you. It subtly comes in. There's a little bit of sugar on top. Maybe that's why my skin's all messing up. Maybe the amount of sugar I'm taking in. Maybe something to look into. Maybe something to look into. Put it up. They're quite thick. compared to the other sweets. Generally, the other sweets are smaller. They're kind of, in a sense, jumbo size of the sweets. I would say about 3 times the size of what you would get with a Haribo. The regular Haribos, or the halal version of Haribos, or the alternatives. That was alright. The Blackberry, let's give that one a go, see how it tastes. This is a stronger, more potent taste of Blackberry. You can feel the Blackberry coming in, the flavours coming through, but it's subtle compared to, I feel it's subtle compared to what you would get with generally these sweets if they weren't vegan or vegetarian. But nevertheless, I'm not knocking them. They are actually quite nice sweets. Yeah. They are quite nice sweets. I feel they're not doused in sugar. What I feel, because I did buy a packet of sugary sweets that were the halal version, and had a nosy at the non-halal version while in the shop, and I did feel that they have a lot more sugar within them. They're doused in sugar, whereas these seem to be less doused in sugar. The last one, strawberry. Let's give this a go. As you could tell by the tone of my voice when I said, let's give this a go, it's probably my favourite. This one's more potent. There seems to be kind of a bizarre saying this about a sweet, but natural taste, you know, that aftertaste you get with actually a strawberry. You're getting with this, that aftertaste is coming through that I would with a strawberry. I'm not saying to replace your strawberries with sweets, but you seem to get that aftertaste, which is quite interesting. The jelly's quite thick. Yeah. It's a nice little sweet there, Let's give another strawberry go. As you can tell, the strawberries are my favourite, so therefore I'm quite surprised there was 2 left. Every evening, you know, after a meal, it's something I like to go for, you know. You need that little bit of sugar. Maybe I should look into that and cut down on the sugar in the evenings, and allow my skin to fix itself. Maybe that's the problem. I have to look into that. The texture is like jelly. I don't know if if you're vegan watching this, previously tasted jelly. Presumably before you became vegan, you did. It's that thick jelly flavour that you got. But you know what? It allows me the gelatine. You know, you used to get those squares that you sort of like made into jelly. If you ever bit into one of those, it gives me that texture, that texture it used to when you tried that out. It wasn't a good idea to try it out, but we all did stupid things as kids, me as adults, probably even as an old man. I'm going to be doing stupid things, but there you are. You have to be different, you have to be individual, you have to be different. I've said that. You have to be unique, don't you? Otherwise the world's going to be a boring place. So that's that. Yeah, it's alright that. So for £1.80-ish, will I be buying them again? Well, ideally, if I spotted the halal versions, I'd be leaning towards them. I wouldn't be buying these, unfortunately. But if they weren't around, would I go for these? I think I would. I'd go for these because I wasn't able to get hold of the halal versions. They are very, very popular as far as the halal versions are, because they always seem to be sold out. So I normally get 1 or 2 boxes. Maybe too much sugar now. So yeah, I normally get 2 boxes. When I last went in, I was able to get hold of 2 boxes, but the time before, none of the shops. I travelled around to different towns, not specifically for the shops, for different things, to explore, to do what I do on a daily basis, and unfortunately I couldn't get hold of them anywhere. They were sold out everywhere. Last time, yesterday, I was able to get hold of them, which was fantastic. So yeah, there we are, those sweets. So if you're a vegetarian or a vegan and you don't choose to participate, well, you wouldn't be, would you, if you're vegetarian or vegan, in gelatin sweets, would I recommend these to you? Yeah, they are quite alright. They're quite decent sweets. If there wasn't any meat products, it stopped them tomorrow, and there was completely everything was vegan or vegetarian within the whole world. Wouldn't really affect me much. I feel I don't eat that much meat anyway, so wouldn't be a massive deal. But I would be disappointed, but it wouldn't be the end of the world munching on these instead of the whole vegetarian vegan way. Going down the whole vegetarian vegan way. But a question: where is my protein going to come from? Yeah, I suppose some people are going to say beans and stuff like that, but I do need a little bit of meat now and then. I'm sorry for the vegetarians and vegans, but that's me, my specific tastes, and me as an individual. But I do lean towards the vegan, vegetarian way. Anyway, yes, that's coming up to a decent amount of time reviewing these. In the past, I used to talk about random subjects. Let me know if you want me to do that again. Go down that direction. My views on the world, because originally, before reviewing anything, that was my idea. Just a ranting video, really. Ranting videos about the state of the world, and that's the direction I was thinking of going through. And then all of a sudden, the story, I thought, why not review biscuits? Biscuits became more and more, and then I thought, why not review something that everyone is able to a certain extent to get hold of them. They're not expensive. You don't have to travel like the other food reviewing channels. You have to travel to certain takeaways or chip shops. You don't have to do that with this. You could go to your local bargain shop and find these bargain supermarkets. They won't cost you the earth. So you could experience what I'm experiencing. You could taste what I'm tasting, and you could have opinion on everything I'm having an opinion on. Yeah, so that's that. I've got something on my mind. Of course I have. Is it relevant? I don't think it is. I think I'll leave it till next time. I'll allow my mind to settle. Or should I? the idea of racism, I was coming from work and I reached my door and a child was kicking an empty box outside the street on the road. He's a regular kid here. He's around here all the time, and he was using profanities, racist profanities, while kicking the box. Carried on kicking the box, using the profanities even after spotting me, and using the racist slurs. So that makes me think, you know, people say there's not much racism in Britannia, you know, well, why is that child using that profanities at that age? Are the parents using the profanities and the language? I know certainly my neighbours do, because you know, the neighbour's wife had relations with somebody of a brown skin, and they are of Caucasian skin, so you know, he wasn't too happy about that. And before, I don't know whether they're back together now, but before they split up, he was using profanities and those vulgar words towards his girlfriend, fiance, the mother of his children. And so with this child outside kicking the box, I was wondering to myself, is this a regular language that they used? Now then you could argue, it's where you live, mate. The people are backwards, they're inbreds, you know, that thought process isn't developed like most human beings. Of course they're going to use language like that. But then I go to a different part of town which is more well-to-do, and here they don't mind being racist, you know, to your face. That's how it is. Unfortunately, in this backwards town. Let's say somewhere more influential, the tone of voice changes. I find I've spoken to people more well-to-do, and their racism, in a sense, is an undertone rather than on the surface level. Say, for instance, their tone of voice completely changes when they talk to a person of a minority colour, whereas their tone of voice and their form of respect through the voice, I feel, majority of the time, is more respectful when it is of Caucasian or white background. So they're more respectful of white people, but when it's someone of a minority group, then the tone of voice is undermining, disrespectful, you know, that's something, there's an undertone of racism. And I find that with public services as well. Public services with many people in the public services, or you could say private sector, but you in a public way. Say, for instance, I've received aggression by a security guard from you know, the Marks and Spencer's group. Did complain, and they were very fantastic about the way they dealt with it, but nevertheless I saw that security guard still at that store, you know, standing at the front. So what does that say about that group? You know, that store, what does that say about that store? Questions to be asked. that's similar in the sense of getting onto a bus. The tone of voice seems to change, the behaviour seems to change, and I notice these little things because I'm a creative. I notice those little tones of voices, that little behaviours, and you know, I had this with a ex-manager. She was a Karen, not surprised there. She was a floor manager, but you know, she was a level manager, but she had a manager above her who backed her up in a sense, and this Karen always had a tone of racism towards when she spoke to minority people, whether they be customers, whether they be regular people, whether they be employees, and whether it was talking about people in a general. It was disrespectful in a sense. Funny thing is, at present I speak 7 languages. A lot of those minority people or minority groups probably at the least speak 2 languages fluently, read and write fluently, maybe more, maybe 3, 4, you know, at the least speak 2. So their intellect is way higher than this Karen's, but yet this Karen thought in somehow she was superior to everybody else. There should be questions asked. People are going to turn around and try and defend this in the comments if anyone actually even watches this video, because it's not as if I get the biggest amounts of views, and maybe if I do later on, maybe so, but nevertheless that question has to be asked, you know, about the undertone, and one has to challenge themselves, and we as a society have to challenge it and question it. As racism in a sense disappeared, or has it just become an undertone in a sense, stuck on the suit? Anyway, like to hear your thoughts, comment below. Speak to you soon. Take care for now. Toodaloo. Bye. See you later. Toodaloo.